All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostle elders, a great millstone who grew well. And salutations to all you brothers out there pushing this word in love, truth, sincerity, and humility. Once again, it's the brother Shatia from the Chicago camp coming back to you with what I hope is another quick and edifying sit down. And as you can see from the title of the video, this devil's up to his old tricks again. Okay? Bioengineered chocolate. We will let this, from what it appears on the surface, Edomite looking man speak on this subject.
Do you like chocolate as much as I do? Well, how about some bioengineered chocolate that is flavored with petroleum products? Because California Cultured has just been given the green light to put bioengineered chocolate on your grocery store shelves by the end of 2026 and the beginning of 2027. See, folks, here in the United States, what they're going to try to do is sell you that they want to be the good guy and deforestation is a real problem, when what it is the countries that we are making enemies with are the only countries that cacao grows reasonably quick, and they don't want to give us the cacao plants. So what companies like California Cultured is going to do is they're going to take the genes from now growing plant cells from the cacao plant. They're going to add petroleum-based products to it so that you get that velvet melt sensation on the tongue, and they're going to sell you, basically, they're going to sell you oil. That's what petroleum is. Oil. They're going to sell you oil in replace of real chocolate. Welcome to America, kids.
Yeah. You're going to eat oil. This guy, he just doesn't stop. This guy does not stop. He's made the air bad. He's made the water bad. He's made fruits bad. He's made the meats bad. And now you're talking about, because of this whole war and these unrighteous geopolitical decisions, the people that make cacao are not selling to America. So now they're making basically synthetic chocolate. Synthetic chocolate, which is not even chocolate. That's horrible. And this is why the scripture says he accomplished a diligent search. When you go to Psalms 64 and 6, actually, I'm going to start at 5. It says they encourage themselves in an evil manner. Okay? That's actually finding a way to supplement or be able to make chocolate without cacao, knowing that that's the way you make it. It says they commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see them? Right? They're making these laws that now, as the man said, at the end of 2026, which is only about 6 months away, and 2027 and beyond, all chocolate, okay, is going to be made with oil. Okay? Uh, it says, they say, who shall see us? They search out iniquities. They accomplish a diligent search. Both the inward thought of every one of them and the heart is deep. Because you have to ask yourself, what would cause a man to sit down and say, you know what? If we can't get cacao, how do we make a cacao substitute? Oh, I got it. We can just use oil. Like, who comes up with this shit other than bad Uncle Esau, the so called white man, the wild man? And see, it's because of this tampering with the natural way of things and trying to alter foods because he can't learn to play along well with others. Now everybody's dying. See, this is the whole reason why people have high blood pressure, diabetes, they have gout, they have heart failure, they have all these type of bizarre ailments because this guy keeps manipulating or fabricating something synthetic and false, giving rise to different types of ailments that if you just left it alone the way it was supposed to be, people wouldn't be dying like this. But this is how it is in America. And I can testify to this personally when the Lord blesses me to be able to go overseas to Europe. Okay. Usually I can be there for about a good week or 2 weeks, due to responsibilities that I have back here in the States. But when I go over to Europe and I start eating that food and eating the real chocolate, it's like my body starts resetting itself. I feel awake, alive, I feel rejuvenated, even when I don't get a lot of rest. All right, I don't need to drink as much water over there as I do need to drink water over here. All right, the mere fact that everything is natural, it's organic, it's not processed, it's not tampered with. It just, even my mind and my focus is more clear when I'm over there. And on this situation of chocolate, man, you talking about some chocolate? I had a chance to go to Switzerland. That chocolate lives up to the hype. And you can immediately tell the difference. Not only just chocolate in Europe in general, but especially from Switzerland and Belgium. Ooh, an immediate difference. But this guy is ruining it. And this is why the scripture says, Ezekiel 4 and 13, and Yahweh said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them. Because all this food here in America is contaminated or manipulated in some way, shape, form, or fashion, as I said before, which is causing and giving rise to ailments that we never had to deal with back in the day. Because you have to remember that the things from the earth, they have certain health or medicinal properties that when taken either by themselves or in a combination or in moderation, they actually help heal and sustain the body so that it performs to its maximum potential. Okay? Let me find something. I believe there's a verse on that. Hold on for one moment. Here it is. Ecclesiasticus 38 and 4. And it says, Yahweh hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. Okay? And let me see.
Dark chocolate, especially with 70% cocoa or more, offers health benefits like improved heart health, better brain function, and reduced inflammation when eaten in moderation. Choose dark chocolate, limiting yourself to 1 to 2 squares daily for the best results, as it contains flavonoids and antioxidants.
Okay? So it says science backed benefits, heart health. It says cocoa flavonoids improve blood circulations, help lower blood pressure, and can improve cholesterol profiles by increasing good cholesterol, which is the HDL, and lowering bad cholesterol, which is the LDL. Okay? Because that's the whole reason why people, might start feeling numbness or tingling in their hands, or they uh, they start experiencing aches and pains, or sometimes the manhood may not be able to rise to the occasion, all right, because of poor blood circulation, all right, lowering bad cholesterol, because if the bad cholesterol gets out of hand, then bad cholesterol leads to hypertension. Let's keep going. It says brain function and mood. It says compounds like theobromine and epicatechin. I'm saying that wrong. Or epicatechin increase blood flow to the brain, which can boost memory, attention span, and focus. It also promotes the release of serotonin and dopamine, which are happiness, all right, as it says. So, yeah, because when your blood flow is better, you think better. Because I think, what's the statistic? Your brain is, your brain has, it's either like 20 or 25% of your total body's blood volume circulating through it constantly. Think about that. Around 20 to 25% of your total body's blood volume is circulating through your brain, which makes sense. Think about diabetics. All right, when that sugar starts going down, what's the first thing to go? Their mental status. Think about people who have hypotension, low when they start suffering from low blood pressure. What happens? That that mental status changes. All right, and it says this is what chocolate does. Reduce inflammation. The high antioxidant content helps neutralize free radicals, lowering oxidative stress, which is linked to aging and many chronic diseases. All right, because when things start getting inflamed, you get in pain, you start having aches, arthritis. Okay, it says gut health. It acts as a prebiotic, promoting the growth of beneficial gut bacteria for improved digestion. So you get the point. Okay? The Lord created all of these things in the earth. Things meaning not only herbs, but foods, meats. The Lord created all these things perfect the way they were, because they have their purpose to be beneficial to all life. The Lord created everything to work in harmony and to be beneficial for all life on the earth. But as I said, now you got this devil implementing these horrible geopolitical uh, uh, moves. Now, as the man said earlier in the video, the people that we need to be friends with to get cocoa, they're not giving us the cocoa because we haven't been sharing the basketball on the basketball court. We haven't played nice with other people. And now this is the result that this guy feels like he has to bioengineer chocolate. Okay? This is why we have to get out of here, as the scripture says. Okay? Matthew 24 and 22. And it says, except those days should be shortened, there should no flesh be saved, but for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. All right? Because if this devil keeps being left to his own will to pursue his most you know pursue his most impure desires and impulses, okay, there's going to be nothing for people to eat. There literally is going to be nothing good for people to eat, not only here in America but all across the world, because I heard, and this is going, this could possibly be a whole nother sit down within itself, which I might do, uh, because of the worldwide man-made famine. Okay, now Europe is starting to think about reversing their food production laws. Okay, they're going to start having food production laws and manufacturing laws for food that are similar to those here in America. Okay, Europe is going years without having bioengineered or genetically modified food. And now, because of this so called famine, now you have big time political figures in these offices saying, maybe we should be proactive. I use that word lightly, proactive, like America, and start genetically modifying and bioengineering food. So, yeah, this is, it gets to the point where you don't want to eat anything, but this is why when you get food, you need to just pray over it and just pray that the Lord will will allow you to continue to live, and whatever nutrients you can get, it'll be beneficial for your body. Or you never know, you praying over your food, the Lord might just work a miracle and just put the nutrients in there that you need to just keep going, that naturally, that I won't say naturally, but that have been taken away because of this, bioengineering and genetic modification. So, yeah, that's all I wanted to say on this. Hope you all were edified. To the next time, we're going to say shalom.